Here at the EHA meeting in 2026, there's a lot of excitement for our field of myeloproliferative neoplasms, or MPNs. Actually, what's happening is a real, what I'd call a second golden era of drug development after the first one, which was targeting the JAK-STAT pathway. Here, there are three areas to highlight at EHA that I'd like everyone to follow along with us. Number one is targeting the JAK2 mutation a bit more directly than we did before. You see, the approved agents are what's called type 1 JAK inhibitors and hit that pathway in a certain conformation. The new era is that of type 2 JAK inhibitors, which hit the mutation-specific or selective pathway. And so we're seeing data in our MPN oral sessions for the first time in patients with that. And I should also mention there are other ways of targeting the selective JAK2 pathway that we're hearing about. The second approach that's very exciting for our patients to keep track of is that of targeting the mutant CALR. That's the second most common driver mutation in the MPNs. Again, this mutation was only elucidated in 2013. So just even a decade later, now we have these first targeted drugs. Again, first in human, phase 1, phase 2 studies. Because the CALR can have immune properties, it lends itself to being targeted by other approaches than small molecules, such as monoclonal antibodies, bispecifics, and perhaps maybe even one day CAR T cells. And then a third exciting area that I'm really excited about is for those patients with an earlier MPN called Polycythemia Vera. And in Vera, there's an abnormality of the hepcidin pathway. Hepcidin is the master regulator of iron homeostasis in the body. So in patients with Vera, too high of blood, iron levels are not exactly appropriate in its distribution. This class of drugs aims to balance that out. And so we're seeing the latest stage data, phase 3 data, randomized positive results of the lead agent known as rusfertide. So updates here at EHA. Hopefully those drugs will be available in the next year for patients. And then a whole nother group of drugs coming that modulate this hepcidin pathway. So let's stay tuned for these updates. It's all about our patients, the caregivers and families that are facing these rare blood cancers. And that's why I've chosen to dedicate my life, my career, to those patients who may not have a voice. Just know that we and others have your back.